Have you ever wondered what makes a great song unforgettable? Or a great solo? Why some chords sound great together when others might not? The explanation for it all is music theory. Simple rules of music's construction. Whether you realize it or not, theory is already at work in your playing. We're going to talk about what theory is and how easy it is to learn and how to harness it to get more from your music today. Come on in. I'm Andy Schneider, career musician turned guitar coach, producer, and author of over 100 books for my publishing company, Singing Music Books. I was a high school band nerd, then a devoted jazz guy, then a backing musician for great artists in every type of music. From Austin to Nashville to New York City, I've learned from my musical experiences and the great musicians that were there with me. I'm a self-taught guitarist, but I was lucky enough to get the right bits of education early on in my career. Pairing that with the many conversations I've shared with more experienced musicians put me on the path to success, a path that built my skills to become the experienced, confident musician audiences enjoy today. I created the Guitar Nerd podcast to give you simple steps to building and growing your musical knowledge, having greater abilities, and getting that amazing music that's inside of you out and into the world where we can all enjoy it. Whether you're a beginner or experienced guitar or bass player, if you want to make fantastic music, you're in the right place, my friend. Now let's get nerdy. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Guitar Nerd. My name is Andy Schneider. This is the place where we talk all things nerdy about guitars and bass guitars. Whether you're a new musician or have lots of experience, I think you'll find something here to further your music this week. I sure hope so. Last week's episode was the skill triangle, you'll remember. The skill triangle that all guitar players need to do their job. Technique, music theory, and gear, equipment knowledge. You need all three of those things to be a great guitar player. Having them at the same time just lets you do your job that much quicker, that much better. Today, we're going to zoom in on one corner of that triangle, music theory. Music theory, what it is not, why it matters, and how it can transform your playing. Music theory sounds like it's a bunch of theoretical ideas, maybe not proven yet. I always thought it was a funny name. It doesn't mean that they're not proven. They are definitely proven. It's not so much theories in the traditional sense, but it's I hesitate to say rules, but guidelines to help you do your job faster and to get at those ideas that are in your head with a real certainty about what will work before you've ever even heard it. Let me explain. Music theory is the system that explains how notes, scales, and chords work together to create great music. Music theory makes it easier, not harder. Makes it easier, not harder. If you've ever wondered how to do anything like transpose a song to a new key or build a solo, music theory will get you there faster. It creates the mindset of successful guitarists. I think a lot of people get the wrong idea about music theory, that it's something to be beaten over the head with, to have to check in on before you can make a move, to tell you that you're wrong, to tell you that you can't do that, to shake a finger, shaking a finger at you, you can't. No, it is not that. Music theory isn't rules to follow, it's tools to use. Music theory unlocks your creative potential by providing a roadmap for improvisation and things like songwriting. It's not there to tell you that your musical ideas aren't good or aren't right. And in fact, I think it's time to bring out Andy's golden rule. Andy's golden rule about music, which is if it sounds good, it's right. Yeah. If it sounds good to you, it's right. That's the whole point of music theory, is to usher you towards what's right and good and what's in your head a little quicker. I will say this as well. In addition to the golden rule of if it sounds good, it's right. If it does sound good to you, there is an explanation or an understanding of it somewhere in music theory. Let me break this down for you. In fact, I'm going to pull out my little guitar here in just a minute and play for you an example of music theory. But first, let me talk about it. This is one of the little bits of music theory, and you're going to see not only what it is, how easy it is to digest, but I think you'll see how you can use it going forward. Theory is like a GPS, not for finding houses, but for finding the right notes, right? Without a GPS, you're wandering around, wander, go up this street, go up down that street, never get there. Well, you'll get there eventually, won't you? But don't you agree it would go a little faster if you had the GPS? That is this little bit of theory I'm going to show you. I'm going to build a chord from its scale. Before I even grab my guitar, my trusty Silvertone, before I even grab my guitar, let me talk about it. Scales have 8 notes, 1 through 8. Okay, we can number them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you select the first, third, and fifth notes of that scale, you can build the chord of the same name. Let me repeat that. Scales have 8 notes, 1 through 8. Select the first, third, and fifth notes, and you've got the chord of a similar name. In fact, let me grab my guitar right now, and I'm going to play this example for you in C. Have you already learned C major? It's a pretty common chord that everybody learns right off the bat. First, I'm going to play the scale. C major scale. And I know you've heard this sound before. Let's take a listen. Now, that's familiar, right? You can all sing along with that. You've heard that before. That's a C major scale. Okay, there were 8 notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 is also a C. It starts on the note C, and it ends on the note C, and then it repeats an octave higher, and that's how scales work. Notes 1 through 8. So if I select the first, ma, C, and the third and the fifth notes that I just played, I'll have a C major chord. Let's have a listen. Okay, those are the first, third, and fifth notes. Have a listen to them together now. Sounds great, right? That's a C major chord. It came from the C major scale I just played. Well, that's pretty cool. It works not just for C or C major, it works for any key. That's the root note, the letter name, right? C, D, E, F, G. And it works in major, it works in minor, it works for all kinds of scales that produce the accompanying chord. There. That's music theory. That's what it does. And that's pretty easy to understand, don't you agree? 1, 3, and 5 of the scale. You just stop on 1, stop on 3, stop on 5, play those notes together, and you've got a chord. So that is where the C major chord comes from. I'm putting a diagram of this in the show notes. If you head to guitarnerd.net, that's GTRNRD.net, look in episode 2 of the episode guide at guitarnerd.net. I'm going to put that diagram so that you can see it if you are a visual learner, or if I've confused you by talking theory in your ear. Have a look at the scale. You'll see we pull out the 1, the 3, the 5 of that scale, and bingo, bango, Bob's your uncle. There's a little bit of theory. It didn't hurt a bit. If you want to get busy learning more music theory, I've made it easy by putting it in a couple of books. One, Guitar Theory, Nuts and Bolts. The other one is Bass Guitar Theory, Nuts and Bolts. Clever, right? Bass guitar theory, nuts and bolts, because we bass players need theory too. This is how great bass lines are made, is from knowledge just like I laid on you, using the scale to your advantage. These books are great for developing the mindset of a confident guitarist. And that's what counts, having the mindset and knowing how to approach a job. These books include lots of eye-opening examples of how chords and scales work together, so you'll have the mental toolkit to build better solos, to make better rhythm parts, and even write better songs. And I've made them for left-handed players as well. You won't feel left out at all. You lefties, I love you. Left-handed guitar theory, nuts and bolts. Left-handed bass guitar theory, nuts and bolts, now available. If you want to check those out, they are on our website. You can learn about them and links to where to buy. The companion website to this show is Seeing Music Books. That's my publishing company, seeingmusicbooks.com. Go look for Guitar Theory, Nuts and Bolts in the bookstore section. Okay, it's that time in the show when we get to nerd out. That's how I like to say it, nerd out. We're going to nerd out by going a little bit deeper on this subject for you more experienced players. You've learned a few chords, or maybe you're a pro and you know all the chords. That's cool. Here's a little fact I'm going to lay out for you that probably has been right in front of you the whole time, and you may not have thought of it this way, or you might not have been aware. But I bet you 2 chords that you've learned by now are C major and A minor. C major, A minor, especially the open string chords, those are cool. Those are cool versions. They're easy to play. Both have 5 notes. Well, they are related, and they're related in a very special way, forever. You won't believe how closely related they are. In fact, if I told you in advance of this, you wouldn't believe me. Well, okay, maybe you would, but they share all the same notes in their scales. Here is C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It's the alphabet starting on C, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, that's C major. A minor is spelled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Let me do that again. A minor is spelled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, repeating back to A. Why, those are all the same notes. C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. A minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Ooh, why are they the same? Let's not worry about why they're the same. Let's use it. Let's use it right now. You know, here's one way you could use that little tidbit of knowledge. You could use this as a soloing strategy. Those 2 chords sound great together and are often found in a song right back to back. Right back to back, C major to A minor, C major to A minor. You'll see this all over the place. Well, a creative and smart soloist might use that to their advantage. Wouldn't it be easier to remember, I'll play the C major stuff using the C major scale. When it goes to A minor, I'll just keep playing that C major scale. That's one way you could use this information to make your life easier this week, to make your music better. Another way that you could use these is just simply by knowing that their chords, not only do the scales share every note in common, starting in a different place for A minor, but their chords share a lot in common. A minor is spelled A-C-E. Ace. That's how you can remember it. It's spelled ace, A-C-N-E. C major is spelled C-E and G. Did you see it already? They both share C and E. A-C-E versus C-E-G. That means that they transition well. You can easily flow from one chord to the other. Let me grab trusty Silvertone and I'll play it for you. I'm going to play C major, then A minor. And then I'm going to go back to C major, A minor. You'll hear that minor sonority, that minor flavor come in there on the A minor. And even though we're going from a major to a minor, listen to how well they work. Listen to how they transition into each other. Here they are. It also makes for a kind of interesting juxtaposition. Placing a major next to a minor like that, that's got a lot of flavor. That's a lot of zesty cooking flavor. And so this is theory bit number 2. You could use this little theory bit to your advantage writing a song. You've got 2 chords already in the bag that sound great together. They sure are easy to play together. Your ear hears all kinds of melodic possibilities between the 2, so it's easy to write a singable melody over the 2. Isn't that neat? Music theory. It's a great tool. Put it in your tool belt and get it to use this week. Music theory is the system that explains how notes, scales, and chords all work together to create melodies, harmonies, and chord structures that sound great together. Music theory isn't just for Jedis. It's not just for academics. It's for anyone who wants to make better music. And that's you, making better music. You're listening to Guitar Nerd. Thank you for subscribing to this podcast, everyone. Thank you for following on social. Each week, Guitar Nerd deep dives into one of 3 topics: technique, music theory, and gear. If you've been wondering what to learn next, why not download our Achieve Your Dreams Guide? I put that on our companion site, seeingmusicbooks.com. If you go to seeingmusicbooks.com, just look for the Achieve Your Dreams Guide down the page there. Pop your email in there, and I'll be sending you the Achieve Your Dreams Guide for free. That's enough music theory for 1 week. Did I pique your interest? I hope so. Go out and find a good book. Watch some videos on how to use it. It's just going to accelerate your learning and supercharge your playing. Next week on Guitar Nerd, we're going to be talking about pickups. Pickups, not the kind that you throw your doggy in and close the tailgate. No, the ones on your guitar. There's a lot of different kinds of pickups out there. For electric guitars, for acoustic guitars, we're going to talk about them all. Everything you need to know is going to be in that episode. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. You have great music inside of you. Let's get it out and into the world for everyone to hear. You can do this. Musical knowledge, being a guitar player, it's just a collection of little facts, of little tidbits, and you are an information collector. Collect enough of those things, and over a lifetime, you will be that Jedi. You will be making the music of your dreams. This week, look for ways to use music theory in your music. Until next time, have a great nerdy week. I'm Andy Schneider, and you've been listening to Guitar Nerd.